David Mazouz. Awesome. Right. Happy to meet you.
Yeah, great to meet you.
I missed you last year, so it's cool to talk to you now.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, when you get to play a character like Bruce Wayne, you're basically like the coolest kid in school for the rest of your life, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works.
I mean, like, when you come into that, I'm assuming you're probably a fan of the character anyway, Batman and whatnot.
Of course.
How excited were you when you first got that part, and especially now to be able to keep expanding it and going into season 2? What are your thoughts now based on how you felt when you started this run?
When I started, it was, I auditioned for the role. I knew I was auditioning for an 11-year-old Batman.
Yeah.
And I was just really excited because Batman's always been somebody that I loved. But it was kind of, in the beginning it was a role for me. Now it's Batman. This is, especially going into season 2, because with school, I've kind of been doing this like a little bit, and my friends think it's awesome, obviously. Anyways, I had to say that.
How can they not?
It is awesome.
Right? Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Your friends just don't think that.
So going into season 2, Bruce was really going to start his transition into Batman. Last year, he was a kid who was grieving for his parents, and he was very determined on finding who his father really was, what happened to his parents, what's happening in Wayne Enterprises. But in season 2, he's going to start to become Batman. He's not just going to be determined, he's going to be Batman. And with the help of the set of whatever's down that staircase, the help of Lucius Fox, who's played brilliantly by Chris Chalk, who's going to be coming back, and Sean Pertwee, who plays Alfred. And the three of them are really, and Seth, are going to really start his transformation into Batman. When Batman's Batman, he has his Batman side, his public side, his Bruce Wayne side, his party boys, public persona. In season 2, he's really going to start to develop that public persona to make, the public think that Bruce Wayne is a loser and he's a party boy and playboy, and there's no way he's capable of being Batman. And so season 2, you're really going to start that, and you're really just going to see his transformation to Batman, and I think it's going to be really epic.
Have you practiced saying, "I'm Batman"? There you go. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to hear.
Does Batman have to do chores still?
What?
Does Batman still have to do chores at home?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Batman still has responsibilities. What can you say?
Batman, you have to take out the trash.
Yeah.
Out of what's to come, what are you most looking forward to filming?
Out of what?
Out of what's to come, what are you most looking forward to filming?
I said out of what sitcom?
That's what I heard too.
Out of what's to come. I'm looking forward to. I think I'm really looking forward to his. Wait a second. Let me think.
All right.
I think what's down the line for Bruce is, like I said, his transformation, but he's going to start to go out more and interact with some new characters, and I feel like that's going to be cool because you haven't really seen him do that. I've only worked with, I think in the first season I worked with 3 series regulars, and there's 15 of them, and so Bruce hasn't gotten out much so far, but he will, and I'm really excited to working with some of these brilliant actors who I've known for so long. I've never had a chance to work with them, and so I'm really excited for that because I think that Bruce is going to become more involved in the cop world, and I think this last year it was a bunch of different storylines. There was the Fish Mooney storyline, there was the Penguin storyline, there was the GCPD storyline, whatever the case of the week was, there was the Bruce Wayne storyline, there was the Selena Kyle storyline, there was the Riddler storyline. Yeah, there was a bunch of different storylines, and they kind of all went their separate ways. I think in season 2 it's just going to be the good guys and the bad guys, and there's not going to be little individual stories. And so I think because of that, Bruce since he's on the good guy side, he's going to start to bond with Gordon a lot more. Their relationship is going to. In season 1, Gordon wasn't really, around that much. In season 2, I think that's going to be completely different. Gordon really is going to start to be that mentor that we were kind of talking about before, and that's really going to start to happen in season 2. And I also think that because of that good guy, bad guy, Bruce is going to kind of help along with that, and not really help the case because he's not a detective, Well, kind of is, but he will be. But
The world's greatest
yeah,
detective.
the world's greatest detective, exactly. But I think he's just going to be more involved in the crime that's happening in Gotham instead of just being his own Bruce Wayne storyline. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I love the way watching you and Sean play off one another. Did you guys have, like, do you find time to kind of find the dynamic of that? Like when you guys are talking to one another, because it really feels like a very natural father-son type of mentality.
Great
It's
chemistry,
so
too.
great.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, well, Sean is amazing. He is one of the most brilliant actors and nicest people I've ever met. I love just spending time with him. He had his son over last summer. His son's going to come to New York also this summer. And I taught, he's from England, and so his son's English. And so I taught him how to play basketball, and he taught me how to play soccer.
Nice.
And I just love spending time with him. That was.
They really like that.
Well, you're welcome. And I feel like the chemistry that kind of happened between us was just natural. I mean, the second I met him, I remember meeting him. I remember thinking he's just a really warm guy, and I kind of felt that father figureship the second I met him, and we didn't really have to work on it because it just came.
It just felt right.
It just felt right,
Yeah.
exactly, and I just really
That's a beautiful thing.
yeah.
And it's something that I
He's an
can't
awesome
wait to
guy.
see how it blossoms.
Yeah, and definitely season 2, their relationship is going to take a turn. I think finding that cave hole, whatever you want to call it, down there, whatever that was, it's gonna be a turning page in a bunch of different things in Bruce's life, and one of those being the Bruce Alfred relationship. In season 1, I feel like they were butting heads a lot. They were constantly disagreeing. In season 2, they're going to go through a really rocky patch in the beginning, but once they get through that, they're going to be on the same team, and I think that's going to be a beautiful thing.
Awesome.
Since we're at Comic-Con, what are you a fan of?
Everything. Okay, hold on, you want me to list them? Walking Dead, The Fear of Walking Dead. Let's see. Game of Thrones, Scream Queens. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm excited for it. Same with Fear of Walking Dead. I think I need to go, but anything.
Everything.
Like everything that's here. I'm really excited. I'm actually freaking out right now. Oh, yeah, I meant Resume Man. It's no one.
Thank you so much, David.
Wonderful.
Nice to meet you, David.
So welcome back.
Thank
We
you.
were just
Yes,
doing this a
I
year
need
ago,
that.
but
I
it's-
know, it
it's-
doesn't feel like 10 minutes ago.
Well, no, see, this is the validation. When you make it past that first year and you come back and you're in the second season, you're golden at that point. So.
Yeah, untouchable. My friend keeps calling me heritage character. I'm like, I think it's called legend. She's like, no, it's heritage. It's a more British version of a legend character, I guess.
When we talked last year, you told me this great story about how when you were a kid you used to play Batman.
Yes.
And now you've been playing Batman successfully for a whole season. Like going into season 2, I mean, you kind of realized that dream. So now, like, what are your thoughts after having that first season under your belt, and where you're going to take it from here? What's going through your head?
What's going through my head?
Yeah.
I mean, I always get astounded when we come to Comic-Con. It kind of reminds me what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I operate in this bubble where I just have my little place in Brooklyn and I do my yoga every day and I go to work and I come home and I see some friends and I don't really think about the wider picture. But then when you come here and you see the fans and you engage with everybody and everyone's so excited, you're like, oh crap, the pressure's on again. But this year I feel so much more like relaxed and kind of excited and happy about the whole thing. My character is just going so insane this year. Like she's had this, she's killed her parents. She wakes up, she comes into Arkham at the beginning of series 2, and then just from there she's gonna explode. She's gonna meet some really interesting characters in Arkham, so are gonna shape her, and then at the same time she's like a kind of like a beast that's been released from a cage. So she can basically do anything, which is the most exciting thing to play and the most fun I've had. We've been filming now for about 4 weeks, and every day it's just been an absolute joy.
How was your reaction when they said that you were going to go crazy? Because at the very beginning she was quiet, well not quiet, but
Yeah,
less...
she was a bit more conservative.
Yeah,
and
and
she
now-
had her demons, but
Yeah.
it kind of exploded.
Yes. What was your reaction like finding out that was the storyline for
Yeah,
her?
I was really excited because for me, like acting kind of for me, acting kind of mirrors my life, and I haven't killed my parents, but I kind of miss Mom and Dad. I just want to warn you. No, I feel like acting is what I go through in my personal life, which is kind of like I'm having this sort of development where I'm becoming more free as a person, sort of like saying what I mean more and feeling more like grounded and feeling more like myself. And then that at the same time kind of coincided with Barbara becoming more free and finding this. I know it doesn't feel like she's grounded, but that's what I'm doing with the character. I'm taking her from like she was all over the place up here, and she didn't know who she was, and she was having sex with women, having sex with men, and then suddenly she like found the ogre, and he sort of like pointed her like who she could be, and then she came through that door and became that person. And at the same time, like Erin is sort of finally kind of, I just feel like I'm just so much more like relaxed in who I am, and I'm enjoying kind of every moment of my life a bit more. So I'm bringing that through Barbara, hopefully. In like every day on set, I'm just allowing myself, I don't make any decisions, I just let myself be free. Is that answering your question?
Yes.
I can't even remember what the question was. Like, I appear to be
Yeah, I was going to say that was a great answer.
That's it.
No.
Oh, we've got more. I just want to see if anyone else wanted to.
I mean, is there any moment you're most excited for next season? Anything that you're just already waiting for people to react to?
Yes, there is something in the third episode which is going to blow everybody's minds. It's so exciting. I read the third episode, and it's like I've never, it was such a fantastic trip. I'm in it a lot, so I enjoyed that element of it. I have a fabulous costume for it as well. So yeah, that is going to be great. Watch out for that. And I feel like this year we've really kind of nailed it on what we're doing. Last year there was a lot of procedural. This year we're going to develop it a lot more, so there's going to be more of the arcs rather than that kind of weekly murder of the week. We're sort of getting rid of that because I think we found the groove now, which is that people just want to see the origin stories of all these amazing villains and then see how that affects Jim and how Gotham is affecting everybody. So I think that's kind of what we're developing.
Do we get to see Barbara and Jim back together in season 2?
I do not see that happening. I mean, unless he is a crazy man, then I don't think. I think if Barbara and Jim get together again, maybe someday in the future we'll have to see. I don't hear the patter of tiny baby Barbara feet for a while.
You talked a minute ago about your family. Does your family, when they watch the show, how do they feel about it? Like, what kind of reactions do they give you?
They're really proud of us. Yeah, it's so lovely. Like they're just, I don't have any actors. I've got my cousin who's an actor, but in terms of like before us, there's no history of acting in the family. And whenever I speak to my grandparents, they're always like, Auntie Mildred was asking about how everything's going, and they're all really proud of me. And then I'm really happy when I get to go home and see them. We had 3 months off, so I got to hang out with them a bit.
Do you get recognized a lot more now, like when you're walking around?
I don't think I do. I look really different
You do
in my
look
day-to-day
great.
kind of life.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a bit more like the direction that Barbara's going in. She gets a bit wilder, so I wonder if then I'll be more recognised. Because I'm not.
I think your accent might throw people.
Accent, that's a big one. And I'm walking around New York at the moment with no shoes on. I'm just doing this new thing where I want to feel really grounded, so I'm not wearing shoes.
Well, and you're so nice, and you seem level-headed, so it's not at all
It's
like.
not like Barbara, yeah. But maybe, I don't know, maybe now our two, like, we're combining a bit more. Maybe my essence will be more available to people. I don't know. We'll see.
That's awesome. Well, that's a great time.
Yeah.
So nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next year.
Absolutely, I can't wait.
Bye-bye.